Hi, everyone. Welcome to a special episode of Skillful Diaries. This time, I am finally clearing Deadly Assault with a full 6-star clear. In the past, every time I've done this challenge, I usually get 4 stars if I'm lucky. And usually, Deadly Assault is part of the Skill Issues series, just because usually, for the most part, I'm always struggling. And there's a lot of things that I do wrong, and I'm never able to get a full 6-star clear. However, this time, I actually made sure to pay attention to what the buffs were for the stages and also figure out what mechanic I needed to use in order to get the bonus points to kind of help me reach the 20,000 points that I needed for the full 3 stars. And in this one, if I trigger this order, I get 200 points as a bonus. I believe up to a maximum of 5,000 probably. And of course, using my go-to Miyabi and Yanagi team, getting disorders is going to be super easy. And I am definitely focusing on the quality of the gameplay. Obviously, I'm nowhere close to being really incredibly good or professional by any means. But when I watch it back, I do see a little bit of improvement, which I'm super, super happy about. One of the most notable improvements that I've made, I believe, is in doing the quick assist or defensive assist. Especially in this mode, I'm hitting almost all of them. I do miss a few, of course, but overall, I felt like I did a really good job making sure I was getting those assists. I had tried this mode before, and instead of using Caesar, I was using Astro Yao, but that was before I kind of realized that on the other stage, I was going to need Astro Yao for my Evelyn team, so I ended up resetting the match and doing it with Caesar instead. Thankfully, I was able to get the 3-star regardless. It just wasn't as easy as a clear, and I didn't do as much damage as I would have done if I would have stuck with Astro Yao. And this time around, the gameplay definitely felt a lot better, especially because I felt like I was being a lot more intentional with what I was doing and actually paying attention to the cues in order to make sure that I was hitting all of the assists whenever I needed to. So it felt a lot better, and I was a bit more proud of myself because of it. And it's going to be a very common thing throughout these 3 rounds because I was able to successfully accumulate the bonus points because I was actually really paying attention to what was needed. And I was hitting the right cues. I just hit my 20,000 points and I've got 4 seconds left, so it was a very close call, but I'm really glad I made it. And a nice ending pose too. Alright, so now I'm going to be moving on to the next stage. And this one's going to be using my Evelyn team. So Astro Yao, Evelyn, and Jingyi, my go-to. I believe I've already mentioned before, but I will be skipping Orphe um, when she releases, even though it's another fire agent that could be good for my team. My Evelyn is fully built, and I quite like her gameplay, so I don't really think I need another fire agent at the moment. And I also skipped Seed, so I definitely don't think I'm not gonna have like the best team for her. But somebody that I am interested in getting is Soldier Zero Ambi. So I'm hoping I can get her on her next rerun. And I did see that she's gonna be getting quite a few buffs, which is definitely gonna make her even more top tier. And I really did enjoy her gameplay too. So for this round, getting defensive assists is what provides us with bonus points. So I'm trying to hit them, but I am missing a little more than I would like. And something that I'm trying to do is something that I've seen in another video where you, instead of taking advantage of the stun window and like switching into different characters, um, you kind of like delay the attack so that way you can utilize the stun window multipliers and then finish it off with using your character attacks. One thing I still don't know how to do is how to utilize um, Evelyn's full potential in terms of like her quick assist. I've seen some people do like 5, 6 quick assist, or sorry, chain attacks um, consecutively, and I do not know how to do that. I think the most I've ever done with Evelyn would be 3, maybe 4 of them if I'm lucky. So I feel like that's something I should probably pay attention to so I can um, fully utilize her potential. But regardless, even with my not the greatest gameplay, I was still able to get the 20,000 points, which was really nice. And I am missing a couple opportunities to get a defensive assist bonus. And I'm also taking a bit of damage too. So I've got 20 seconds left and I'm almost at the 20,000 point mark. Oh, and that chain attack kind of just almost got me to 20,000. I was honestly kind of worried I wasn't going to make it just because of how little time I had, but I'm glad I did. And the match is pretty much over at this point. Oh, and I love that ending pose, the high kick. So that gameplay was definitely a little bit chopped and a bit sloppy, but I got the points that I needed and I got the 3 stars, so it's a win for me. And now I'm going to be moving on to the final stage. Now, this boss definitely gave me some trouble the last time that I played it just because of the mechanics. Um, like what you have to do in order to get the bonus points was a little bit difficult, and I honestly didn't understand it the first time around. But I did end up watching a YouTube video that kind of, and I looked at the gameplay and made sure that I could mimic what they did in order to get those bonus points. So this time around, I had a much easier time getting the bonus points. And for this team, I'm going to be using Yuzuha, Alice, and Trigger. Just because I think for the bonus, like when you are using or when you trigger like Aftershock, it does more damage. So I wanted to incorporate at least one electric type unit into this team. And like I said, since I don't have Soldier Zero Ambi, like that wasn't really an option. And other than that, I don't really have a good electric type DPS character. It's honestly so satisfying to be able to hit so many of the defensive assists consecutively, especially when I remember that that was something that I struggled so much with um, when I did Deadly Assault the previous time. So it was nice to be able to see some visible improvement. This part I completely bombed the last time, so being able to get the bonus points was a huge accomplishment for me. And I definitely feel like I kind of conquered this boss and I paid a lot more attention to what the gimmicks were. And like this time I was able to crush the blade and my characters didn't die automatically, which is great, huge improvement. And all those defensive assists were crazy for me. And it's honestly super fun seeing so many things happening on the screen from all these different characters at once. So I've got 50 seconds left and I'm already at like 18,000, which is perfect. And this was another part that was a huge struggle for me, but I'm actually doing it. And I'm about to hit 20K. Yep, and I secured my 3 stars. It feels good to finally be able to conquer this mode and play a little bit more efficiently this time around. So I'm hoping that going forward, I won't really have as much issues as I've had before, especially if I continue to practice and improve and really pay attention to what's required to get the bonus points and just making sure that I'm kind of like playing optimally. And I just hit a bunch of defensive assists. And the match is pretty much over. All right, thank you for watching.